particularly those.
This meeting is being recorded by a
Process.
or
That is something.
huh?
Can you hear me? Okay, so
أنا
that
محتاج حس عشان كل حصة عندي مقفول.
can you please mute yourself, all of you, so that we can conduct the proceedings well. So I would request all to mute. So this particular Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award instituted by TAS, for this credit goes to Dr. R.S. Paroda, and in the process, recognizing those at the global level who have made a mark and contributed to agricultural research and development is quite significant, and the past 10 such personalities have been already recognized by this particular award. And now we have Dr. Senjin Fan, who is the 11th one to be conferred with this particular prestigious award. Also, we have Dr. Adel Al-Watagi, Chairman IDDC, the next awardee, who is also going to receive the award today. So for 2 years, we have awardees. Because of COVID, this was not held. So today we have this opportunity to actually listen to not only the chief guest, but also have the opportunity to have these 2 legendary personalities who have made mark at the global level. I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. R.S. Paroda, the chairman of this particular trust, in fact, who not only initiated this particular effort, which is a praiseworthy effort, as I said, but very importantly, carrying out the activities of the trust in a very sincere, dedicated manner, and bringing out documents, policy papers for country to take note and to define the agricultural path for future. So I profusely thank you, Dr. Paroda, not only having thought of the trust, but also having thought of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award to recognize global leadership in the arena of agriculture. So I welcome you. I also take this opportunity to welcome the Vice Chair, Dr. Gurbachan Singh, Dr. R.B. Singh, another globally recognized personality in the arena of agriculture, the FAO and whatnot at the ICR, and also at the national level in various capacities. So I welcome you, sir, for being here. I also take this opportunity to welcome all the trustees of the trust who are present today, all the award winners, both the award winners and other previous award winners who are linked to the program today. We have also Dr. Usha Barwale, Dr. Rita Sharma. We have also Dr. Srivastava from ASRB, and many other dignitaries who are here, Dr. Saxena, and many others who are there. I would not take the name and then miss out in the process, but I extend a very hearty welcome to each one of you who are here physically in this hall, and everyone who is attending virtually, to celebrate this award function, and also, in the process, recognize the contributions of the global leaders who are going to receive award. Once again, I extend a very hearty welcome to the chief guest, Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan, who has been kind enough not only to attend and spare his valuable time, but also has agreed to also speak to us and give his address. So with this brief, I once again thank the chairperson, Dr. R.S. Paroda, who has not only been at the forefront of these innovative ideas and activities, but also taking keen interest to take along everybody and in the process make every program he conducts a grand success. So thank you very much, sir. So with this, once again, thank you all for being here.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Paroda, Chairman TAS, to apprise about the award and the programs and activities of TAS.
First of all, thank you, Dr. Mahapatra, for your very encouraging remarks, and welcome to all the trustees and distinguished guests, and also colleagues who have been able to join us either in person or virtually from all over the country and as well as abroad. My personal gratefulness to Dr. Vijay Raghavan for having agreed to be the chief guest this time to give away the awards to two distinguished persons who are going to join the list of other awardees like Dr. Norman E. Borlaug, Dr. G.S. Kush, Dr. Surendra K. Vasal, Dr. Ratan Lal, Dr. Sanjay Rajaram, Dr. Mohan Saxena, who is fortunately present with us today. So welcome, Dr. Mohan Saxena, Dr. William Dar, Dr. Thomas Lumpkin, Dr. Uma Lele, Dr. John Dixon. Many of these awardees also possibly are joining us through the virtual link provided to them. I am grateful to all the trustees, particularly again our vice chair, Dr. Gurbachan Singh, and all the trustees present, and especially to have Usha Barwale with us today, representing the MICO Foundation, which has been supporting this award right from its inception. So we appreciate Dr. Swaminathan. Needs no introduction, much has been already said. When we thought in the ICR, the system of promoting excellence, we thought that there must be incentives and rewards of all kinds for the scientists, including women, including universities, including institutions, and including young scientists and whatnot. But then idea came when Dr. Swaminathan had also received the first World Food Prize. And I'm not sure, I think Dr. Swaminathan is going to be linked to this program sometime during the session because he is not well today, but I have been assured that probably he will be with us and give his congratulatory message to both the awardees, if he can manage to. But his office is fully linked with, and Dr. Soumya Swaminathan is also linked to this program and listening it from Geneva. We are indeed pleased that we could institute this award to honor one of our most distinguished and eminent scientists and the leader. Had been my own teacher, so nothing would give you more pleasure than to see that something is in your teacher's name and people go and awards are instituted when they are not anymore in this world. But I thought he must himself see this being done by the scientific community. And then that's why this award was instituted. The first award when was there, and he had been present in all the awards, except possibly this one. And he yesterday only talked to me we had a video conference, and he expressed his happiness about holding this function and said that if I am well, I will certainly join. But he said, I appreciate all what is being done. So with this, I would like to say that it is a great pleasure to associate some of the global leaders who have been working for agricultural science and development globally, but who have also helped India and Indian agriculture in one way or the other. And their contributions are quite distinct and appreciable. So in that context, I am happy that today we have with us two distinguished leaders in agricultural science, Dr. Sanjan Fan, who was adjudged to be the recipient of 2020 award, and somehow we could not hold this function because of the COVID. So Sanjan, welcome you and appreciate you being with us, being in Beijing today. Your leadership globally is known for in the field of agricultural economics and policy research, and the contribution that you have made for India by establishing the Institute of IFPRI and strengthening it with not few, but maybe 20 more scientists working in the area of social science, which is so important for agricultural future impact and development. So we are happy that you could agree to be with us despite your other engagements. And the second awardee for 2021 for this year is Dr. Adil El Beltaji. Dr. Beltaji requires no introduction. He is known to each one of us. He had been also the chair of the Global Forum, and much will be said about their contributions through citation. So I would not like to take long, but would like to say that he had been the champion for smallholder farmers of dryland areas, and he has contributed significantly for the development of Siwana region, including the South Asia and particularly India. And his partnership with us, with the National Agriculture Research System, both of them had been strengthening the National Agriculture Research System, working with ICR hand in hand. We are happy that ICR NARS leader, Dr. Mahapatra, is also with us. So this shows the solidarity for this initiative which has been taken. We do hope this award would become much more prestigious as it is being recognized now. And the first award was given by Honorable President and that time, and the second award was then given by Honorable Prime Minister, and after that many agriculture ministers and distinguished people have been coming as chief guests to give away this award. And today we have Professor Vijay Raghavan, an eminent scientist who is currently the principal scientific advisor to Government of India. Nothing would give us more pleasure than to have Dr. Vijay Raghavan, and he readily agreed, which again shows his confidence in the initiatives and work that we are all doing. So with this, I would only like to say that we would be very happy to continue receiving support of all of you, all the CG Center representatives present in Delhi are with us today. That also shows their solidarity for such activities. We didn't wish to invite because of COVID a bigger gathering, and I apologize to both the awardees and also to our chief guest that we could not organize this function, which generally is held on the Pusa campus. The director of Pusa campus, Dr. Ashok Singh, is also with us. He is our trustee, and we have been holding it in the BP Paul auditorium, all jam-packed, more than 300 to 400 people. And the purpose also of organizing such events with bigger audiences to see that youngsters, and especially our postgraduate students from IRI, where I myself studied, where Mahapatra studied, where Professor R.B. Singh was director, and many of us were associated. They also get encouraged, and they also get exposed to this kind of. So the purpose is not only to give award, but to also incentivize the youngsters to see that in future they also try to come up with some achievements for which they are also rewarded in one way or the other. So my time is over. I would like to once again thank you all those who are present, and the context of this award is all well known. Dr. Adil Beltaji, welcome. Good to see you in person, and appreciate Sanjan Visa before. Now you are here, so we welcome you and appreciate that you could join us. So with this, I would like to pass on to begin with next program.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Usha Barwale, Director and Chief Technology Officer, Mahiko Private Limited, to share her thoughts.
Thank you so much, Sonam. Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Mahapatra, Dr. Paroda, Dr. Vijay Raghavan, our awardees today, Dr. Shengan Fan, Dr. L. Beltagi, and all the distinguished personalities who are around this table and joining this meeting today virtually. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Dr. Paroda, to be here in person. Our chairperson, Mr. Raju Barwale, was unable to attend today, but I am very pleased on behalf of Barwale Foundation to be here today, and also to share that we are extremely happy to be associated with the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture since its inception. And our hearty congratulations to both Dr. Shengan Fan for 2020 award and Dr. El Beltagi for 2021 award. 2020 kept us away from celebrating the award in person, and also actually more acutely highlighted the risks that are surrounding our food security and nutritional security challenges that we had already, but then the pandemic has actually further highlighted how the most vulnerable are the ones who can least afford such type of challenges, and how do we double down and look at our nutritional security challenges and food security challenges becomes even more relevant and important. And it's very heartening to see that both Dr. Shengan Fan and Dr. El Beltagi have constantly throughout their agricultural professional careers have focused all of their research activities and around this topic. So very, very glad to see that they are being recognized today for the award, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award. One of the key topics that Dr. Fan has worked on is around investment in agriculture. And I think that is a topic which is very close to us both in the Mahiko Seed Company, but also in the foundation, as to how research and innovation has a key role to play in agriculture to bring about transformation. And that is, so it's very pleasing to see. I have a long association with Dr. El Beltagi. in my early days of my professional career, I came across Dr. El Beltagi as a member of the Technical Advisory Committee of the CGIAR. At that point of time, he was the Director General at ICARDA, and we had many heated conversations, many learnings, and so forth. So thank you very much, Adel, for all your insights and inputs you provided in my early days in the agriculture investment, agriculture research arena. So I want to congratulate the awardees again today and thank Dr. Paroda and TAS for inviting me here today. And good to see you, Soumya. Welcome.
Soumya-ji, welcome.
Yeah, ji.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Dr. Rita Sharma, Trustee TAS, to please read the citation of the first award for the day.
Greetings, everyone. It is a privilege for me to read the citation for Dr. Shenggen Fan. Dr. Shenggen Fan is an accomplished agricultural economist, renowned not only as an author of widely cited journal articles and books, but also as a global leader in agriculture and food policies. Through decades of research, he has been playing a crucial role in improving food and nutrition security in several countries and regions. Dr. Fan is currently the chair professor at the College of Economics and Management at China Agriculture University, leading a national innovation team on food economics and policy. Prior to joining the China Agriculture University, Dr. Fan served as Director General of the International Food Policy Research Institute, 2009-2019. He joined IFPRI in 1995 as a research fellow and conducted extensive research on pro-poor development strategies in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, especially in China and India. He led IFPRI's program on public investment before becoming the director of the Institute's Development Strategy and Governance Division in 2005. Dr. Fan's research covers a wide range of issues such as public investment, agricultural and rural development, transition economies, poverty reduction, food security and nutrition, and sustainable food systems. He has been engaged in the agricultural development strategy for developing countries throughout his career. The econometric model he developed to measure public investment and priorities in his early years has been set as a paradigm by international agencies such as the United Nations and the World Bank, and adopted by many developing countries in making policies to optimize public spending and eliminate poverty. As the Director General of the, he led a strong team of researchers to provide cutting-edge, evidence-based research to develop policies towards transforming the food systems for human and planetary health. Dr. Fan was awarded an honorary life membership of the International Association of Agricultural Economists in 2018 and became a fellow of American Applied Economics Association in 2020. In addition to academic achievements, Dr. Fan champions food security and nutrition and innovative food systems through his leadership role on multiple global committees. He has been a member of the lead group for the Scaling Up Nutrition Movement, appointed by the former UN Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon, and he served as the chair, the vice chair, and the member of the Food and Nutrition Council of the World Economic Forum from 2012 to 2018. He also serves as an advisor to many national governments on agriculture, food security and nutrition and related matters. Dr. Fan has made tremendous contributions to eradicate hunger and to ensure food security all over the world. He received the Hunger Hero Award from the World Food Programme in recognition of his commitment to and leadership in fighting hunger worldwide in 2014. In 2017, Dr. Phan received a highly prestigious award recognizing individuals who have made outstanding contributions in the field of management and is regarded as a Nobel Prize for Management in China. As Director General IFPRI, Dr. Phan tried to build a very strong and ambitious program on good policy and nutritional security research in India as well as South Asia. The Trust for Advancement of Agriculture Sciences has great pleasure in presenting the prestigious Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture for the year 2020 to Dr. Shenggen Phan for his lifetime outstanding contributions.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request the chief guest for today's program, Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan, to please present the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture for year 2020 to Dr. Shenggen Phan. Please put your hands together for Dr. Shenggen Phan. Economist, a crusader against hunger and poverty, and the recipient of the 11th Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture. Congratulations, sir.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
There
May I
is also,
There's the cascade for citation.
also need to present you the citation. Congratulations.
Thank you. I received in Washington physically, so now in Beijing, I only have the virtual ones. They're equally good, maybe even better.
Congratulations again. You should be having the real item and I should be having the paper, but we'll rectify that soon.
Yeah.
Congratulations, sir, for the well-deserved award. And may I request you to please say a few words?
All right, thank you. It is really my profound honor to receive this award. To my friend, Dr. Raj Prodha, and also Mahatma, yes, Secretary and the Director General of ICON. We have worked together for so many years. Now also the distinguished guest, Usha, I know you in a different function when you serve as tech advisor. And then Rita, obviously, Rita Sharma. And obviously our chief guest, Vijay Raghavan. And now the Swaminathan's daughter, Soumya Swaminathan. We're so happy to see you all here. So I have known Dr. Swaminathan for so many years. He has been a personal hero to me. I remember when he was IRRI DG, he really inspired me. So I think we should feel very proud of that. He is the father of the Green Revolution in India, probably even in Asia, in addition to Dr. Norman Borlaug, taking on rice. So I remember in the 90s or 80s, 90s, in the region, we were working very hard to increase food production, food productivity, because we needed to feed more people, more mouths. But later on, I think around probably 1990, environment has become a very big issue in China and many other countries because of the depletion of underground water, overuse of fertilizer, pesticides. So we begin to focus on the environmental issues under the leadership of Dr. Swaminathan. Then again, around 2000, the MDG, the Millennium Development Goals, declared that poverty was our major focus. And again, I think that time Swaminathan was already back in India in setting up his foundation to work on poverty reduction through increasing smallholders' productivity and so on, particularly women and youth. Women and youth were some of the highlights of the foundation's work after Dr. Swaminathan returned back from IRRI to India. Then later, just around maybe 10 years ago, Dr. Swaminathan began to focus on nutrition by serving as, let's say, an advisor, chief advisor to Harvest Plus biofortifications through breeding, so we can add micronutrients into rice, wheat, and maize. Dr. Swaminathan was really a champion in supporting that program. And that program was on IPRI, and I was IPRI Director General. And we are very proud to report to you that more than 40 million smallholders are consuming biofortified foods, including India. It's high iron per minute, jointly development by ICRISAT and IPRI. And I can go beyond and beyond. So my experience with IPRI, as Dr. Rita Sharma has already mentioned, we also went through different stages based on the historical development. In the 80s, 90s, IPRI work was very much on productivity, smallholder productivity, and so on. And in India as well, like Peter Hazel's work, Vince Wenger's work, and my own work, basically to look at how we can optimize our investment in research, in infrastructure to increase productivity for reducing poverty. But later on, we really understood that the environmental issues were so critical. The system, the food system was not sustainable at that time. So at IPRI, the major food policy was on environment, underground water. For example, Mark Rusgrand, Ruth Monson-Dick's work were very much on water issues. Then around 2000 and probably 2010, we began to focus on poverty and nutrition. So IPRI expanded substantially as I took over IPRI in 2009. So we expanded our work to include more work on nutrition, gender, and beyond. So IPRI size really tripled the partner because we really seized the opportunity. We work with different countries, India, China, Vietnam, and Africa, to really meet their demand, policy advice, data, research evidence, and experiments on policy. So IPRI today begin to use the food system approach. The Dr. Swaminathan worked on different elements of the food system, for example, nutrition, efficiency, inclusion, particularly gender and youth, and climate change sustainability. So today, we use that approach to combine all this together, wanted to achieve all these goals together at once. We call it food system approach. And then back in China, so I came back here 2 years ago, immediately COVID-19 came. So together with my colleagues, we unearthed the global agencies, global organizations to watch, to make sure that a health crisis will not become a food crisis. A health crisis, a COVID crisis, I know Sonia and others, David Nabarro, are working very hard. But in the meantime, it's our responsibility to make sure that food will continue to be supplied, continue to be produced, and continue to be consumed by consumers, consume healthy and nutritious foods under COVID-19. I think together with my colleagues, global colleagues, and colleagues here in China, I think we have really alerted global organizations, country, policymakers to prevent a potential food crisis. So now the food price has already gone by more than 30%, partly because of COVID-19, partly because of oil, the rising oil price, and partly because of the climate change. So many reasons may hit our food system very hard. I call it a perfect storm. When all the threats, all the risks happen together, it could destroy our food system. It could make our food system collapse. So I wish we could work together globally, and we work together between countries, India and China. We learned so much by comparing these two countries with my colleague Ashraf Gulati, Thorat, and many others. We must continue that. So there's only one word. I'm so happy to recognize that India has committed itself to achieve carbon neutrality by 2070. This is a daunting task. Can agriculture make a contribution? Can food system make a contribution to that? I think we can, really depend. So finally, I want to thank you. Thank the committee, thank Dr. Peroda, and also the foundation for giving me this award. I mean, this is a small recognition of my work. It really asked me, pushed me to do more work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Fan, for being a torchbearer through your inspirational work. I now request Dr. Gurbachan Singh, Vice Chairman TAS, to please read the citation for the second award for the day.
Thank you very much, madam. This is my proud privilege to read citation of Professor Adel L. Beltaji, the recipient of Professor M.S. Swaminathan Award for the year 2021. Professor Adel L. Beltaji had a long and an effective career in the national, regional, and international agricultural research that changed the lives of many resource-poor farmers in the dry areas of West Asia, North Africa, and Central Asia, and CAC countries. He immensely contributed towards strengthening agricultural research in Egypt as co-chair of the Committee on Development of Egypt Agricultural Strategy for the 1990s with support of World Bank. He also chaired the Committee on Sustainable Agricultural Development Strategy towards 2030 in Egypt. This led to the most productive cereal, rice, and wheat production systems, coupled with improvement in the irrigation system and human resource development. These initiatives ensured food security for many Egyptians having small farm holding. As Director General of International Center for Agriculture in the Dry Areas, ICARDA, from 1995 to 2006, Dr. Beltaji worked diligently to fulfill the global research mandate for dry areas. He also headed the CGIAR system for the CGIAR program for the newly formed Central Asia and Caucasus republics and played key leadership role in transforming their agricultural research systems. He also established a consortium to rebuild agriculture in Afghanistan involving national and international partners from 2002 to 2006. He did help in establishing a most modern gene bank at ICARDA, Aleppo, conserving the world's most valuable germplasm of arid land crops, including their wild relatives. He has been a member of the high-level task force on a resource mobilization benefit sharing fund of the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture from 2013 to 2016. As a member of the CGIAR Genetic Resources Policy Committee, chaired by Dr. Swaminathan and Vice Chair, member of the Board of Global Crop Diversity Trust, he continued to support conservation of agrobiodiversity. As chairman of Global Forum on Agricultural Research from 2006 to 2010, he worked with the regional fora to promote both food and nutritional security in the developing world. Dr. Beltaji has also been a fellow and board member of Third World Academy of Sciences and has promoted South-South cooperation in bringing excellence in science. He also served as president of the governing board of the Center for Advanced Mediterranean Agronomic Studies from 2011 to 2015. His overall efforts have left lasting impact on research and development of agriculture and food security in the CWA and CAC region, and also the dry areas in South Asia, including India. These efforts for enhancing food and nutritional security and poverty alleviation in the developing world in general and in the dry areas in particular have been well recognized by a series of international and national awards. The Trust for Advancement of Agriculture Sciences has great pleasure in presenting the prestigious Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture for the year 2021 to Dr. Beltaji for his lifetime outstanding contributions, trustees of TASC. Thank you very much.
I request the chief guest, Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan, to present the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture for year 2021. to Dr. Edel Beltaji. May we put our hands
Most
together once
congratulations.
again for Dr. Edel El Beltaji, a renowned agriculturalist and the recipient of the 12th Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture.
Cascade with citation.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations, sir. May I request you to say a few words?
Can I share the screen?
Yes, yes.
This is.
It is available.
Yes,
allowed.
kindly, sir, kindly present.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. أنا مفتوح دلوقتي الميكروفون مفتوح. Just a second, it will be there. Okay. Yeah, let me first address Dr. Vijay Rajadharan, my colleague and great leader in India, as well as in international agriculture, Dr. Raj Paroda, Dr. T. Mahapatra, my young sister, Dr. Usha Barwali, and Dr. Mohan Saxena, Dr. Bahag Mil, the Secretary of TASC, Dr. Gurbaj Singh, and the trustees and members of TASC, my colleagues, Dr. Champhan Yang. It's a pleasure to be with you today in this meeting. I would like just to share with you a couple of points which I would like just to go quickly through it. It is with great modesty and humbleness that I thank the Trust for Advancement of Agriculture Science, TASC, for conferring this honor on me of awarding Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Advancement of Agricultural Research. It is a great privilege to be included in the list of those astounding achievers who have received this prestigious award in the past, including the Peace Laureate, Dr. Norman Borlaug. This award ties me even more intimately with Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, with whom I have been associated for the last 35 years. His pivotal role in ushering in the Green Revolution in South Asia, especially in India, has been a great inspiration for me, even before I entered the arena of international agricultural research for development. My research, including teaching, administrative work, in national programs in Egypt in the service of the small-scale farmer struggling to earn their living under harsh environment, was much influenced by the sense of dedication that Dr. Swaminathan had for the poor and the woman farmer of the developing world. Dr. Swaminathan is a unique figure worldwide because he is not only a scientist in the lab or a scientist concerned with the improvement of genetic resources to help bridge the gap for and minimize hunger, but he really encompassed the issues. He really hold very firmly all the dimensions in an integrated form, from the lab to the field to indigenous people to breeding rights to even a level of the gene editing and how it could be utilized in the developing world. He was not only concerned with wheat and rice when he was the Director General of IRRI, but as well he was concerned with the pulses and the legumes. And Dr. Bolob told me that he was convinced about the role of legumes for the poor people in Africa through Dr. Swaminathan's advice. I mean, the genuine idea of having seed banks for the villagers is very important. In one of my several trips to him in the foundation in Chennai, he took me once to Pondicherry, whereby I have seen the work of the foundation, Swaminathan Foundation, in aquatic, as well as in how they preserve the life of the fishermen by having early alarm signals of the danger they have from the Oceanography Institute in the University of California, San Diego. He was very interested in fulfilling the made in India and how this could be realized. I mean, starting from Gandhi, but he is one of the gurus, which is in the field of agriculture. He led this effort. Therefore, we had the pleasure of hosting him at ICARDA as well as in 9, but with several meetings throughout, with his humbleness and modesty as well as wisdom. He was really a lighthouse for a lot of young scientists and administrators in the field of agricultural research for development. We have been associated with him, for instance, for the CGIAR Genetic Resources Policy Committee for 5 years. I worked under his chairmanship, looking at how these genetic resources could benefit the poor as well, and how we can return some rights to them. As well as I was member of the panel, the high-level committee, to address the implementation of the UN Millennium Development Goal, and this was for around 7 years or so. We have benefited greatly from this. Jack Diouf used to attend the whole day with us because Dr. Swaminathan was there all the time. And I had the pleasure of being a member of the board of the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment, where 800 scientists has worked together to make an early call and early alarm for the world about the danger of the climate change. The dry areas really 1.5 billion people, and it's very fragile, and it needs a lot of attention from all of us, especially as an outcome of the research programs and new technologies has to be really implemented in these areas. Therefore, ICARDA has shifted. I had the privilege to serve the center nearly 11 years. And during this time, we shifted from the one region to the bigger area of the dry area worldwide, which includes Central Asia, and it includes India as well. This task, I mean, we had dealt with a lot of crops like, which was a global mandate like durum wheat, lentil, Kabuli chickpea, fava bean, etc. And this crops really are very important crops in Indian dry land farming. And therefore, there was a lot of cooperation, exchange of varieties, and as well as several meetings and exchange of scientists which took place. We took the Bedouin Award, King Bedouin Award, and this was between Equisat and ICARDA to all has really contributed with the close cooperation with the Indian agriculture community to close the gap of the pulse supply demand gap in India. India has also played a very important role in history and the performance of ICARDA. A cadre of well-trained professionals from India have been instrumental with the partner from other parts of the world in developing strong research and technology transfer, infrastructure, and programs at the center. I will mention some names, but not all of them because of the time. But the fact is that most of the Indian scientists and research administrators has been a part of the field that Dr. Swaminathan has so diligently nurtured over the years in the country. They have enabled me and ICARDA management to achieve the goal which we need to advance scientific research in agriculture in dry areas and globally and in Central Asia and South Asia region. Therefore, I would like to thank them most sincerely in this occasion. Just to name a few, germplasm enhancement program was led by Dr. Mohan Saxena, as well as Dr. K.B. Singh, the late K.B. Singh, which I had great admiration for him, Dr. Malhotra, and Dr. Astor Sarkar. Germplasm enhancement in gene management program was led by my wonderful colleague, Dr. Sanjina Rajaram, as well as there was Dr. Surendra Benawal and Dr. Adoba Moari Singh, as well as part of the team. In the management team, I had Dr. Mohan Saxena, who was Assistant Director General. Mr. Suresh was Director of Finance, as well as Mr. Sarendra Varma was the Head of Communication. Vijay was Internal Auditor. Having said this, I have so many encounters in India, in and out, in several, from Rajasthan to different places in India, visiting it through the last 40 years or so. But as well as the chair of GFAR, we had a meeting of GFAR, and GFAR was founded by a guru called Raj Prabuddha, and he's sitting with you there. And it is fascinating platform where it's aiming at contributing to poverty alleviation, food security, sustainable natural resource management. And we had the president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, open this meeting, and we were honored by this, as well as IDDC, which is the International Dryland Development Commission, had an international meeting on converting dryland area from gray to green, and this took place in Jadpur in 2019 as well. Let me tell you, just some glimpses of the concern which we had and still have from the climate change. The Glasgow meeting didn't work. We are heading now for the 4 centigrade, which the World Bank wants us to avoid this in 2012. And we are going very quickly toward this increase of population. We will be about 9.7 to 10 billion. But 70% of the increase of population from now to 2050 will be in 24 countries, which is the poorest in the world. This climate change is we will have losses in food productivity from 25% to 50%. But we need to increase our food production by 70% more to sustain this new population. Climate change will affect not only inland crops and varieties, but it will affect aquaculture as well. Climate immigrants between 200 million to 1 billion people by the end of century. Copenhagen, we did have hope, it didn't realize. In Cancun, we said, yes, we can, it didn't happen. And this is summed up by Joachim von Braun, the former DG of EFBRI, that the food crisis and the financial crisis will cause political security will be shaken, as well as economical stability and food security. To cut a long story short, it's knowledge and enlightenment which we need to have. We need to apply research. We need to modernize agriculture. We need to optimize water use efficiency. We need to avoid this snakes and ladder in the adapting institution, and to avoid that, you have to have knowledge. Then you know where to go to avoid this catastrophe, which may happen, like this tsunami of the catastrophe. Here, Mr. Obama said, I'm sorry, you could have done it before, but we didn't. Up till now, we don't have the $100 billion per year for the developing countries, which is affected by climate change. And we don't have the technical and scientific box, which was agreed upon in Cancun. Then what's left is that we need vision, imagination, creativity, innovation. And this is what MS Swaminathan Life was for. He worked with leaders like Borlaug and others to see that this can be done, and the lack of coping capacity and lack of adaptive capacity in the developing countries will be minimized. He disregard and he looked at human beings beyond race, beyond the class, beyond gender, age, ethnicity, or disability. Therefore, inequality was not in his agenda. And this was what was Dr. Swaminathan hoping for. Therefore, we hope that between the have and have not, things will be better in order to fulfill the peace and stability and prosperity for this world. The mission scientific research and development innovation to improve the lot of the poor farmers is a noble one, and Dr. Swaminathan Award continue to sincerely serve that mission. With the global climate change threatening the agricultural sector, not to mention other sectors, this mission assumes a new importance. I therefore congratulate the task for being a torch bearer in this effort through Dr. Swaminathan Award. I regret that he is not with us today, but this is, in his book, he wrote these words for me. And I think this is, for me, this word is equivalent to the prize today. And I'm really indebted to him in several things, which was imprinted in my career throughout the years. I will end by saying that what we are hoping for is a shift of consciousness on the part of the have and the have not, and a new understanding of the oneness of humanity. Therefore, we can go forward, and all civilization like in Egypt, India, and China with my colleague, Dr. Shen Fan, could really work toward a better future. I do thank you all. I do thank especially Dr. Raj Paruda, who through the years was really a close friend and a colleague, where we consulted on national things in Egypt and regional issues, as well as global issues for years. And I do thank him and thank all the board of TASC, and thank you very much.
Sir, your exemplary achievements inspire us. May I request Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan to please release the publication entitled 2 Decades of TASC. I also request you to please address the gathering now.
Thank you very much. It's a really great honor to be here today. First of all, let me start by congratulating the awardees, Dr. Shengen Fan, who is an accomplished economist and scientist. His contributions have been read out and are well known, but I would like to say how important agriculture economics is today, because not only do we need to have technologies which can produce quality food, nutritious food, but the economics in the context of climate change and global warming become critical. Congratulations, Dr. Shengen Fan. I'd also like to congratulate Professor Adel El Beltagi, who has a long career as a regional and international agricultural research in areas of Africa, West Asia, in the dry areas. His contributions have been read out again and are exemplary. And this again is a very, very critical and important area in today's dramatically changing climate context. Congratulations to you. It's a great pleasure that and an honor to be here today at a ceremony named in honor of Professor M.S. Swaminathan. Professor M.S. Swaminathan continues to lead us today, and he has been absolutely inspirational. He's one of the few scientists who has not only headed our top agricultural research organization, secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture. And this is a combination of science and policy and implementation, which very, very few people have. Biology is something today which works across scale, something which happens at the molecular level can affect the entire ecosystem. And this unusual state of biology is something which very few people understand and appreciate, linking evolution, economy, sociology, biology in very intricate manners. Professor Swaminathan is one of the few people who can manage this with ease, with humility and effectiveness. And so it's a great pleasure, and it's very correct that this award be named after him. My other colleagues who are here today, thank you all very much. It's an honor to be here. Professor T. Mahapatra, Secretary, Department of Agricultural Research, Dr. Raj Paroda, Dr. Usha Barwale, Dr. Rita Sharma, Dr. Gurbhajan Singh, and Dr. Bhagmal, from whom we will hear now. So thank you all very much. It's a great pleasure for me to be here, and I learned a lot listening to both the awardees. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Anuradha Agarwal, General Secretary, Indian Society of Plant Genetic Resources, to please present a memento and shawl to Dr. K. Vijayaraghavan as a mark of our gratitude. So we are truly honored by your presence today. A living legend, a man with boundless A living legend, a man with boundless enthusiasm, a scientist par excellence, a man who has left an indelible mark on food production in India. He is more commonly known as the father of Indian Green Revolution, the man in whose honor this award has been contributed, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. We now have the great luminary himself joining us online from Chennai.
Oh, that is good.
Just got the message. He is not well, he cannot join. So he is not able to come to office today. Sorry, he expressed his regret just now.
To conclude today's program, I request Dr. Bhagmal, Secretary TAS, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sonal. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. K. Vijayaraghavan, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, Dr. Raj Paroda, Chairman TAS and former Secretary DARE and DG ICR, Dr. Gurbachan Singh, Vice Chairman, and Dr. T. Mahapatra, Trustee TAS and Secretary DARE and DG ICR, Professor R.B. Singh, former President NAS, Dr. Shengen Fan, Dr. Adel Beltagi, who are the awardees today. The earlier awardee, Dr. MC Saxena, is also present here. All the DDGs, ADGs, ICR directors, and Board of Trustees, distinguished invitees, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to all of you. We have now come to the end of the program, and it is my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks. As you all witness, the award ceremony had indeed been very successful. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture was instituted in 2004 in the honor of Professor M.S. Swaminathan, who had been the main architect of Green Revolution in India and is a staunch supporter of Evergreen Revolution. So far, this prestigious award has been conferred on 12 eminent scientists from India, including the India and abroad, including the 2 eminent experts who have been bestowed the award today. It gives me immense pleasure to express my deep sense of gratitude and most sincere thanks to Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, for sparing his most valuable time and being the chief guest of today's award ceremony to give away the awards and also to release the important publication of TAS entitled Accelerating Science-Led Growth in Agriculture, 2 Decades of TAS. Once again, my profuse thanks to you, sir. I am indeed highly grateful to Professor M.S. Swaminathan, in fact, in whose name this award was instituted, and we were thinking, in fact, earlier that he will be appearing for a while to convey his best wishes and to give congratulations to the awardees, but unfortunately, due to ill health, he could not come. But we are very grateful to him as well. Dr. Raj Paroda, Chairman TAS and former Secretary DARE and DG ICR, is the brain behind the meticulous planning in organizing the award ceremony. In fact, his guidance, supervision, and constant follow-up, even while on travel yesterday, had been instrumental in making the event a great success. My grateful thanks to you, sir. I take this opportunity to wholeheartedly congratulate the 2 awardees, Dr. Sengen Fan, former DG IFPRI, and Dr. Adel Beltagi, former DG ICARA, for being bestowed with the prestigious Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for Leadership in Agriculture for 2020 and 2021 respectively. I express my most sincere thanks to both of them for joining the event virtually, though it would have been a great pleasure if they could have attended this function physically, but we missed their presence due to COVID-19 restrictions. My profuse thanks to Dr. T. Mahapatra, Trustee TAS, and Secretary DARE and DG ICR for sparing his valuable time to grace the occasion and giving the welcome address and opening address, and also for providing support for all the TAS programs and activities. To Dr. Rita Sharma, Trustee TAS and former Secretary Ministry of Rural Development, for her guidance and support for TAS activities and for reading out the citation for Dr. Sengen Fan. And to Dr. Gurbachan Singh, Vice Chairman TAS and former Chairman ASRB, for his immense support and for reading out the citation of Dr. Adel Beltagi. And to Professor R.B. Singh, former President NAS, for his kind presence in the function today in spite of very short notice. My profuse thanks to Dr. Somya Swaminathan, Chief Scientist, WHO, for making it convenient to attend the award function, and we are grateful to you, madam. I also take this opportunity to profusely thank former awardee, Dr. MC Saxena, who is present with us. He is ADG ICARA, and other former awardees who must be attending the function virtually. I also express my sincere thanks to all Vice Chancellors of SAUs, DDGs and ADGs of ICR, Directors of ICR Institutes, and Heads of Regional Offices of CG Centers, and all the distinguished invitees for sparing their valuable time and attending the award ceremony, many of them virtually and some are present here. Thank you, all of them. My profuse thanks to Dr. A.K. Srivastava, Trustee and Member ASRB, for his critical inputs and suggestions for TAS activities, to Dr. A.K. Singh, Trustee TAS and Director IRI, for his immense support to TAS, to Dr. R.C. Agarwal, DDG Education and his team for providing the facilities of conference room and webinar arrangements, to Dr. J.L. Karyalu, Trustee and Treasurer TAS, and to Dr. Umesh Srivastava, Consultant TAS, for their immense help in various ways, and to Sri Raju Barwale, Trustee TAS and Managing Director MICO, who could not be present today, but Usha Barwale represented, for funding support for Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award on a regular basis for last several years. My deep sense of appreciation and sincere thanks to Dr. Anuradha Agarwal for her help in facilitating the presentation of awards by the chief guest. Also to Ms. Sonal D'Souza for anchoring the event, to Shri Ashish Pandey for operational arrangements for the webinar, and to Ms. Simi Dogra for providing needed assistance in organizing this award ceremony. Thank you again to all of you. Thank you. I think all of you are invited for a cup of tea.
Thank you, Dr. Raj.
Thank you so much.
We
I
cannot
wish I
have tea.
could help you for coffee.
Thank you.
Yeah, coffee, maybe.
Next time.
Virtual coffee.
Virtual coffee. Yeah, I have my coffee here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Everybody, bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you,
sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Visit
Bye-bye.
India maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Both of you.
Let's hope. All right.
Inshallah.
Congratulations, both of
Thank
you.
you so much.
We'll see you, Dr. Shan.
Yes, we'll
Please
do
send
that.
me your coordinates, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we'll do that.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Dr. Raj Paroda. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Paroda, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. You are invited